Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Halayla Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakadash. Our praises be to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, and our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, to the 144,000. Double honor and respect to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Coming back at you with another lesson. The American Dream. The American Dream. So this video is fair use. Copyright Act of 1976. So this video is to be used for criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Permitted under the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So let's play the video.
It's better for you to leave first and to set up a soft landing for your other immediate friends and family.
I'm just gonna say it because nobody else is saying it, even though we're all thinking it. The American dream is to leave America.
Nearly 9 million Americans have left the country. And if there were a new state called Expatland, it would probably be more populous than Vermont, Wyoming, and Alaska combined. After all, what made citizens of the world's richest nation, once hailed as the land of the American dream, choose to leave their own homeland? Let's look at the small details in life. A supermarket bill for almost $300 for just 1 week of groceries. A retired couple has to count every penny to pay for health insurance that costs as much as their rent. A family in Chicago is teaching their children how to duck when they hear gunshots, instead of how to cross the street. This is no one else's business. This is our story. And if nearly 9 million Americans have left, perhaps it's time to ask again. Is staying in America still the right choice? And are we the next ones to pack our bags? Let's start exploring. Going to the supermarket is so expensive now. Before, I used to fill the trunk with groceries, but now there's only enough room to put them on the passenger seat. I just saw 2 bottles of juice for $9. The price is ridiculous. It's no longer a secret. Many Americans are complaining about rising food prices. And it's not just a subjective feeling anymore. According to the latest Consumer Price Index, CPI, the cost of shopping at supermarkets has continued to rise to nearly 330 points. This is the largest increase since 2016. The American dream, which used to be a full dinner, has now become a joke on the bill. Bananas are 50 this year compared to 38 last year. Coffee has increased by up to 40% in a year and is now priced at $8.99. Ground beef is currently priced at $7.67, while a year ago it was only $6.77. Everything is so expensive that many Americans have to cut out a meal a day. It's no coincidence that 52% of Americans believe living abroad would be cheaper and of higher quality. They don't talk in theory. They looked at the wallet. They compare. In Mexico or Costa Rica, a family can live comfortably on 50–60% of the cost compared to the US. For some ones a month, you can rent a bright apartment and eat at restaurants a few times a week. In the US, that same amount of money would barely cover your health insurance. A woman shared, "Every time I go to the supermarket, it costs at least $300. And my energy bill has increased by 70%. I earn more money than before, but I have less left at the end of the month because all my expenses have increased." In Tampa, to live comfortably, you need to earn $111,000 a year, which is unimaginable for most of my friends. Many people, after trying, finally decided decisively, we're leaving. For family life, for the children, for safety and happiness. They prepared their immigration documents, researched thoroughly, and compared the cost of staying versus starting over elsewhere. A musician said, "I used to play music 4 to 5 times a week, which was enough to live on and save. Now the income is higher, but it's still not enough to cover expenses. Inflation, housing prices, utilities, food, everything is suffocating. I don't see a future here anymore. What I find most paradoxical is that America always prides itself on being the world's #1 economy, yet ordinary workers feel like they're losing right on their home turf. When medical bills are higher than rent, when beef becomes a luxury, people start to look beyond borders. In the US, retirement in 2025 no longer means retiring, but seems to mean retiring from steak to oatmeal. A lifetime upgrade for a lifetime of dedication. In your opinion, is this just a temporary blip, or a sign that the American dream is cracking from within the kitchen? What do you think, with the money you have now, would you choose a simple dinner in the US or a full seafood meal in Mexico? And remember, the cost is just the surface. There's another nightmare that makes many Americans want to leave, even before they reach retirement age. The United States spends more on healthcare than any other country on the planet. Over $2,500 per person per year, double the OECD average. At first glance, this sounds like a health paradise. But the irony is this: Americans are the people who are most afraid of going to the doctor. From 2000 to 2019, global healthcare spending reached $8.5 trillion, equivalent to nearly 10% of the world's GDP. But in the US alone, that number is even more staggering. 20% of GDP, meaning for every dollar spent, 20 cents goes to healthcare. Americans pay twice as much as people in other wealthy countries, but the results are not at all proportionate. Every time they go to the doctor, instead of asking, "Can my illness be cured?" Americans ask, "Can I afford this bill?" For an emergency visit that only requires a light bandage, the bill can be $3,000 and $5,000 if insurance doesn't cover it. Entering the hospital is like entering a casino. You don't know what you'll come out with, your health, or a bill that's half the price of a car. Not stopping there, many people are frustrated by the way the American healthcare system is operating. Some people even quipped, going to the hospital in the US is like stepping into a casino. You don't know what you'll come out with, your health, or a bill worth half a car.
It is better for you.
So there's a couple of scriptures that I want to go into, and Salakia, this video was a bit lengthy, but had a lot of meat on the bone, and I think it was important for it to come out. So there's a couple of scriptures that I want to go into. Let's go here to Isaiah 13. The book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. Let's go to verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So judgments are issued as amendments or scourges for iniquities, wickedness. And this is what the Lord is doing, bringing everything back into balance through righteous judgments, remedies to this wicked system. And quite frankly, he's going to trim the fat. Ultimately, is what's coming. So we're only seeing a build-up to the great and terrible day of the Lord. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. The daughter of Babylon is the center of this wickedness, the epicenter, if you will, for lack of better words. So he's doing that by bringing this proud look down by attacking its economic base. So the dollar has lost its purchase power. So they just keep printing more money. And then you don't have many people working as the old days were. Less people are working. Most of the jobs are offshore. So there's no ingenuity. Entrepreneurship is dropping. Labor has been shipped overseas. So this place is just waiting to fall totally. It's a matter of time, circling the drain. I will make a man more precious than fine gold. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So when you look at the pioneer days, building America, you needed manpower. Because of hard times, you had to build houses from scratch, chop wood, and haul off large trees, and you had to stack rocks and stones, cut stones, make brick and mortar. You needed defense from wild bears and coyotes, wolves, foreign tribes, or imposing tribes. So everything is going back to the old way. And the man of the Lord is going to be a treasure because the Lord is going to be with his men. So all that I don't need a man stuff is going to be flushed down the toilet quick. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts and in the day of his fierce anger. So this is a buildup that we're seeing, the crumbling of this society, the economic collapse, moral decay, and loss in faith, trust, and confidence in the government, in the leadership. So many people know that this place is running on fumes, running out of gas. I mean, it's literally running on fumes to keep it afloat. And one of the major stumbling blocks for America right now is figuring out that they're under the wicked, Job 9:24. And their loyalty and allegiance is to imposters, the JOOs. So it's an illegitimate structure. It lacks legitimacy, which means many people know that the leaders are a fraud. The election process is a scam and a joke. The leaders are pre-selected, not elected. And then you have the fake chosen people, the JOOs, that are usurping authority from American sovereignty. See? And then you have corporate giants, an oligarchy that's taken over business and monopolizing the markets. They're cornering the markets, monopolizing the competition to themselves. So nothing but covetousness and greed has taken over and overshadowed this land. So it's ripe for the taking, judgments. Your leaders are corrupt. And many of them are on the Epstein list, by the way, too. So your leaders are fraud. Your money system is corrupt and fake. It's phony. It's not backed by gold. See? So nothing here is built on anything concrete or sturdy, trustworthy. Nothing. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. So people are leaving, vacating. Why? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So there's no long-term security and stability here. There's no trust. There's a lot of doubt and uncertainty in the way ahead. So I'm going to show you. So many people are leaving. Let's go here to Jeremiah 50, verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for the fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his own people. So when you have economic collapse, it creates insurrection, sedition. The sword comes in many different shapes, sizes, forms, and fashions. Famine. See, shortages are underway. Farmers are losing their labor force because the immigrants are fleeing ICE, fleeing deportation. Look at what happened in Nebraska, what's happening in many other major farm districts. They're losing their labor for fear of the oppressing sword. You got ICE agents raiding many of these areas, taking away the labor force. So many of these nations are figuring out that America is unstable. Its dollar has lost its legitimacy and its purchase power. The government has lost its legitimacy. So there's no more trust or mutual understanding and cooperation amongst the government and its citizens. A breach in trust and relationship. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. So they're leaving for economic security, medical stability. They can get free medical care in many of these other countries, and they don't have to worry about being deported. They don't have to worry about being confined in Alcatraz, Alligator Alley, these FEMA camps. They don't have to worry about this pending civil war between the left and the right for fear of the oppressing sword. A lot of the food here is a sword. The medical industry is becoming a crippler, becoming a stumbling block. Medical tyranny is underway. If you're not digitally tagged, marked, and stamped, you can't even get medical care. Medical records is going to be on a digital database. Financial records, criminal records. See? So everything is tied to being under the gun, so to speak. Crosshairs on your forehead. And many people just want to be left alone and live their life. But this ramp up, this reset, is stirring up the masses for major full-scale violence across the land. Full-scale violence. Let's get that Second Ezra 16. Second Ezra 16, verse 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. So this new system is going to mandate a digital device to be implanted. Look up that movie Implanted on Tubi. See? And they're using idols to build this miniaturized device. Nowadays, they use pig fat enclosings or pig fat casings to help it easily get inserted, just like your gel caps and stuff. This man is truly the devil. Make no mistake about it. Even in many of your transplants, they're using like a pig fat enclosing. They're even doing a pig heart transfer implants. I wish I was making this up. But the major idol that they're going to be pushing is the microchip. I mean, to put a pig's heart into a man is a total abomination. Pigs have worms all throughout their body, little worms. So those worms would make their way up to your brain, all throughout your body. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So the oppressing sword is coming through the Gestapo wearing masks and armored plates. Alligator Alcatraz, FEMA facilities, food scarcity, a collapsed petrodollar. See? Water shortages. So you're going to have a scene out of Mad Max. Look that movie up. The original was better. I grew up watching that in the 80s. Mad Max. People just scavenging for food. Foraging. Foraging is just wherever you can get food, you get it. Other people's farms, their houses, everything. You just take what you can get when you come upon it. So people are going to be foraging for food and scavenging, killing and stealing. And without being around a man of the Lord, you're walking dead. No protection, no spiritual hedge. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So these are they that are following these pastors, following these leaders, following these community outreach centers, following these churches, following these local government leaders. So these people are going to turn on them, seeing that they've been duped, they've been had. Many of these false prophets, too, by the way, their congregations are going to turn on them. Many of these false leaders are going to help shuffle the herd, telling them to obey the government, using Romans chapter 13. Obey the government. Not if they're telling us to commit fornication, idolatry, sodomy. Spiritual fornication is taking that man's digital implantable device. No law in the Bible commands us to do that. We're not even supposed to make markings or cuttings in our flesh, according to our Bible. Right here, verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So the major target are the prophets, the remnant, elect, that are going to no longer stay upon those that smote us. Lord willing, I'm amongst that number. Let's go here and close out. Isaiah 10. See right here. Isaiah 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So right now we're leaning on this man for one of all things: food, water, safety, rest, security, medical. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God. Elect are going to be delivered. For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. So the elect are going to be delivered and reject this man's marriage through his digital Mot B or C-hip. 1144, 144. So hopefully this lesson has been edifying. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. So a man is going to be more precious, more valuable than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's really starting with the men of the Lord that have the doctrine, that are being tried and tested and preserved and purified through tribulation, and that are cleansed by the doctrine of salvation, that have faith. That's worth this weight in gold, because it is impossible to please our Heavenly Father without that faith. There's no connection to Him. Many people are just willy-nilly walking around just trying to wing it. No stability, no direction, no azimuth or direction of travel. So they're just bouncing everywhere, like every change of direction of the wind. So they're unstable. Let's get one more. Right here, verse 6. We got to go to 5. Hebrews 11, verse 5. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death. So the elect is going to share in this wonderful, marvelous, miraculous act. Just like Enoch, bodies are going to be changed and caught up into the air to meet Yahushua. Hebrews 11 and 5. By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased God. So we please him by believing on him. Remember, we're married unto him. How many want a wife that's complaining we can't please her? Well, who else is pleasing you then? I can feel the rage just thinking about that. Can you imagine your woman telling you she's not pleased by you, or you can't please her? Imagine how the Heavenly Father feel about that. So you go and take this man's miniature ride, okay, and commit spiritual fornication, adultery. That's a death sentence. So we must believe in our Creator, our husband, that gave his only begotten Son, purchased us with a priceless sacrifice, the blood of the Lamb. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So he's going to give his reward to his servants, the prophets, and the remnant that will no longer stay upon or trust this system and reject this man's integrated digital marriage to this network, to this beast system. So the elect is going to escape from the trap, this network, as birds escape from the fowler. A fowler is a hunter. So those birds represent the elect, free as a bird, so to speak. Let's get one more. 2nd Ezra 9. Where is that at? And they that shall escape, right here. 2nd Ezra 9 and 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs, being changed, translated, caught up into the cloud, delivered, taken on a new meaning. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith. So this is building upon a belief system, a faith-based organization, so to speak. I think that's what IUIC accuses GMS of, which really they make themselves look like total buffoons. The entire doctrine is based on faith. I mean, how dumb, that's got to be the dumbest quote of all time. Of course, it's a faith-based camp or group. I'm trying to stop talking too rough, but I mean, that's worthy of just being deleted. Unbelievable. Anyway, and every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So belief is going to be demonstrated through diligence. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Not just walking around talking about I believe, but there's nothing behind it. It's like having $1, not backed by gold. Just saying I believe, but there's nothing behind it. It's just fake. It's fiat. It's a paper tiger. Lacks substance. For every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning, pre-selected, ordained before the foundation of the world, tried and proven precious stones that's going to be taken through the fire of adversity, the fiery trials of tribulation, to enter into glory and greatness and become fine, shining immortals, like Yahushua, the light of the world. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala and Abad Babal. We got next, Lord willing. Barakathum. Shalom. Shalom. So this country is circling the drain, and many people are fleeing for fear of the oppressing sword, sickness, famine, civil wars, race riots, martial law, ICE raids, economic collapse, water shortages. That's a big one. You can go about 3 days. Well, you can go about, let me see here. I'm just curious. How many days can you survive without water? I don't want to wing it. Can a man survive without water and then food? Just curious. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to guess. I've always been taught, on average, a person can survive 3 to 7 days without water, depending on temperature, activity level, and overall health. Because you got different factors, like hot environments, heavy exertion. Survival may drop to 1 to 2 days. So you got to visualize this thing. Remember being on the run, living as pilgrims, fleeing ICE agents, fleeing vigilantes, mobs, lynch mobs, and you name it. Thieves, robbers, murderers, rapists. So the exertion level is extremely high. So many people will perish in the first 30 days or less. In cooler conditions with minimum activity, some have survived up to 10 to 12 days, but that's extremely rare and dangerous. Humans can typically survive 30 to 60 days without food. Yahweh Shai was able to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. Humans can typically survive 30 to 60 days without food as long as water is available. Survival depends on fat stores, muscle mass, and overall health. The Spirit been pushing us to get in shape for these troubles ahead. Heavy Spirit has been on the apostles, the elders, the camp leaders, the big brothers, the brothers overall, to push health and wellness, how to eat, what to drink, how to survive and maintain our vessel. Wow. So there's a reason for that. All right, go ahead and end it there. Hopefully this lesson has been edifying. See you on the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala and Bad Babal. We got next, Lord willing. Barakathum. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.